morning. It is. I was just lucky enough to get a room with the east-facing window. The boss probably knew that when he said, like, here, let me take this other room, you take this one. So it was, loading went pretty good and everything. But they had to go back this morning and load another 2 trailers, or 4 trailers, I think. So he's like, kind of feel bad in making you sit in your truck and wait for us, because I don't have a rail trailer, so we picked it on. We put it on tie plates, just right on the trailer. So I kind of have to wait for the picker. So there's no sense in me getting a huge rush. I'm gonna get going anyways and go get some breakfast. Stop in Beaver Lodge, get breakfast, and hit the freezing in Fox Creek. We gotta take these machines back to Wabamun, which is just west of Edmonton, about like 40 minutes-ish. 30, 40 minutes. We'll unload them there, and then I got another mission. Interlude. I gotta go out to the Owl River, and that's out on the Elk River, which is way out in the bush. It's supposed to be some pretty sketchy terrain, so that's perfect, some excitement. But then I have to come all the way back here after. We gotta go out there and pick up accumulator, BOP, and a little light plant of some sort, and then come back to Grand Prairie, drop that off, and then from Grand Prairie we'll come back to Fort St. John, grab the backhoe, and then take that to Sherwood Park, and then go home, all in one day. I wish. So I'm going on holidays on the end of Sunday, and it is Thursday, so I better get lickety-split, get going, and hopefully everything goes well. Stay tuned. Like one original FSJ land truck there, but I guess that was over 20 years ago. It was kind of like that was the second place I ever had an oil field job. had lunch with my cousin. He just had a trip up to the Yukon, back to the White Horse, and he visited all over the relatives. Check in and see how he's doing. Tell me all about his trip. It's pretty sweet. And we were gone again. Just on the other side of Grand Prairie now, coming to the Big Smoky. Plans are still the same. We're gonna go to Wabamun and unload this, and then it's kind of a gray area of what I'm doing next. I think it's probably get to Edson and then go out tomorrow morning and grab that stuff from out there. Cheers. Let's keep on a trucking. Try to keep the footage to a minimal here so I can save on memory cards. I do have 2 cameras with 128 gigs each, so I should be able to get it all done. It's gonna be a hell of a mess trying to organize it all once it's on the computer. That's the problem with using more than one computer for main journey, is I got all this footage that kind of looks the same, especially if you're like doing stuff like maybe not so much the talking because I'm telling you where I am, but the journey on down the highway. So I'll just keep it to a nil. Stop in Fox Creek and get some munchies, and then I'll see you when we unload. Got a bunch of groceries, pre-made sandwiches, some veggies, because we know veggies are good for ya, and some crackers, cheese, and pepperonis. Ricky. I just got, oh, that's the wrong gear. Vlogging and driving. Just got the lowdown for what's going on tomorrow, which, twice as much work as what I was told in the first place. We're gonna have a little talk about that. So we're unloading this at 7:30. It's 4:30 now. Got this trip.
Oh man, that smells of. Hey man, that's salt, man!
It's rail equipment. Should show a picture. I'll insert a picture here. And then from there we'll go to Drayton and have a nap. Well, we don't have to be out to site till 10, which kind of sucks, but maybe we'll try to go a little bit earlier. We're gonna go out on the Elk River, out to the Owl, Sabre, yada yada yada, somewhere out there. I know where the Owl is, but I haven't been past that far down there. Anyways, we was like, we gotta lay down 400s, set them up for double stock. The third party truck is grabbing one set. I gotta grab the other set. I gotta switch my trailer with Buddy so he can put the stuff that's gotta go to Grand Prairie on it, and he's gonna go back to Edson. So I'll get stuck with the bed work because they gotta go location move these tanks to the Willow, which is in Hinton, and then out on the logging road about 45k or so to the Jack Mayhoff, and unload them and stand them there on planks. Yay, tanks! And then after that, we'll beeline back out to Hinton, then grab our trailer. Buddy's gonna bring it up from Edson to Hinton and grab. We'll swap a Rooney and then to Grand Prairie with that stuff, which I don't know. He's like, why don't you just get somebody to meet you in Hinton and then you can take it up Highway 40, but cutting across the Whitecourt versus Highway 40 and then having to drive all the way through Grand Prairie to get around to Claremont, like that alone is almost an hour sometimes. So you're only 50 minutes, 45 minutes from Hinton to Edson, so it might just be quicker to just grab that. Go back to Edson, grab that, go across 33 to Edson to Whitecourt and up that way, because at least then you're on the right end of town. You do skip all the scales, but 40's a chew. We'll have to see what she's like weight-wise, then I'll make a decision from there. Still have, well, I could go around the scales in Grand Prairie as well. Should be fine. He said he hauled it with the other trailer is a little heavier. The one that I'm going to switch to haul the tanks for, so buddy can load that stuff on mine, is a little bit heavier. It's an old total trailer, so it's 3-position neck. It's kind of set up for hauling tanks, which is something I want, but they're too short for my day-to-day use. So we'll carry on and we'll see you in a bit. Sun's kind of shining the wrong way, but this is what I'm hauling today. I have no idea what it is. I don't know what that's used for. I'm sure it's some kind of reading instrument. Someone will say, and then this is a trip. What is a trip? Something to do with the railway ties. That is all I know. He's reached down and they grab the ties, and I don't know if they stuff the rocks away from the ties. This actuates. It spreads or it grabs. Judging by it, it looks like it spreads the dirt away, grabs the tie. I don't know if they shuffle it side to side. This does look like it goes side to side. Something to do with trying to get the ballast rock back underneath the tie if it gets punched out from over long-term use on the track or something. If someone knows, you can let me know. It's not all that heavy. 37,000 pounds is what that thing weighs. So light load, just built just for T-beds, which is good. It's a pretty new machine, pretty shiny, nice. So everybody's about an hour behind me, hopefully not an hour, because we got an unload time of 7:30 and we're about probably 40 minutes from unload, so they better find a high gear. I'm just gonna wait here. There's no sense in me getting in a rush and getting there before anybody. I don't have a rail trailer, so I can't unload on my own. Anyway, that's where we're just outside of Mayerthorpe here. that took a little bit longer than anticipated. It's like, hey man, the sun's going down, but I guess it was like 8 o'clock when we started hawking stuff around, so. But it's done now. Back in Drayton, hanging out, gonna sleep here, wake up in the morning, get fuel, something to eat, and bomb out there. We don't have to be out there till 10, so that's nice, and I think it's only about an hour and a half to get out to site, so have a decent sleep anyways. Tried some picker footage. Hopefully it looks alright. It got dark, so wanted to stick it on the blocks so it always looks down, looks pretty cool. I like doing that, but sometimes if you don't, I need to try it with the new camera, because was it this one? I think it was my 4 that was bad. I tried it with my 4, but every time you pick up, when the chains would tighten and the block would do this, the camera was like, so it didn't look that great. But I can't remember if it did it with this camera or not. I'd have to look back. I've only done it like once or twice doing some rail stuff. But the other picker operator that was there, he's coming out to site tomorrow, and he's like, oh, because he seen me pull the camera off the picker. He's like, whoa, so can you put that on my picker tomorrow? I'm like, chances are probably pretty good if I'm around and you let me, but it's also an oil field site, so we'll see what the conditions are like, because it can't be all like, hey guys, look at the camera, and then they're like, which this one will be intrinsically safe because it's completely closed up, so if it's waterproof, it's intrinsically safe. But you can't argue an oil field guy that, or a consultant. They'd be like, don't care. So as long as we're not like shoving it in a bunch of people's faces, then cool, we'll put it on there and we'll try it out. And that's enough for me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Scenes from next time on Time Lapse Trucker. Look at this, parked right beside me last night.
Brunch time.
Uma ameaça foi detectada. Uma ameaça foi detectada.